I think about all of my healthy habits. The one that I feel is the most responsible for my strong mental and physical health, it is my running habit. My name is Katie Day. I'm a health and wellness educator for midlife women. Running makes me a better mom, better wife, better friend, better business owner, better everything. It makes me more patient. It helps clear my head. It helps me sleep. It is something that is a big part of who I am, and I love it. Does that mean I love every run? Absolutely not. I complain a lot about them, but I always love the feeling after I run. When I started running, though, it was really hard. So I always think back, and that's what prevents a lot of people from doing it. It is hard to do, but I feel like anything worth doing is hard. So when I first started running, here are kind of a couple things that helped me. So hopefully you can incorporate them if this is something you want to do in your life. The first thing is I made sure to set realistic goals. If I was sedentary, it's not realistic of me to expect to just go out the door and run 5 miles without any problem. So I needed to set realistic goals. So my first goal is to be able to run for 30 minutes without stopping. So in order to do that, I would go out and I would spend more time running and less time walking. So let's say I went out for 30 minutes. I would run 5 minutes and then walk 25 minutes. And then slowly I would add more time to my running and have less walking time. That's what worked for me. I know other people really do well with a run-walk combination. Run for 5 minutes, walk for 2. Run for 5, walk for 2. That works for some people. For me, mentally, once I start walking, it gives my brain that option that it's a choice, and then I'll just kind of want to default to it. So for me, it didn't work to go back and forth. I needed that consistent time, but you do whatever works best for you. I think there's a lot of different ways to do it, so you pick what works best for you, but be realistic. So once you get to a point where you can run 30 minutes without stopping, then gradually add time on, add distance on. Do not do too much too soon, because that, causes injury. Shin splints are a common thing when people start getting out there and doing too much. So don't do too much too soon. Another thing to think about is the right gear is important. You don't need the top of the line anything, but you need good shoes. There are running stores. I know the town I live in has really awesome running and walking stores, and the people there are a wealth of knowledge. So if you have one close by to you, go in there, tell them what you're looking for, and they will point you in the right direction and tell you the right shoes. The shoes are the most important. And then other than that, clothes that are, fitted, that work for you. I like to have a watch. I just have an old Apple Watch. I don't have anything fancy. That helps me. But just thinking about having the right gear. Don't worry about getting the fanciest, all those things. Just get something, especially with the shoes, and then you can always add on to it later. Another thing to think about when you're starting to run is to also cross-train. That means add other workouts in. Add some strength training, add some yoga, do some stretching, other things like that, because one of the biggest things you're focusing on if you're running is injury prevention. That is one of my biggest goals. I do not want to get injured, because if I can't run, I'll be very sad. So my goal with cross-training is to always prevent an injury. Next thing to think about is your mindset. You need to be sure you're having the right mindset about this. Thinking about when I first started running, I kept saying, I can't wait for this to be easy. Well, the thing is it's never easy. I've been running for 20 years. I run upwards of around, 20 to 30 miles a week. Running is still hard. I get stronger, but it's still hard. So get rid of the idea that it's going to be easy. It'll get easier, but it's never going to get easy, because then you're going to push yourself to go farther, faster. So it's never going to be easy. So get that out of your head and just focus on, I'm getting stronger. This is still hard, but I'm going to get stronger. Also, most runs, not most, but some runs, I love it, and I think this is so great, this is so fun. There's other runs that I'm miserable, and I don't love it. I always love the feeling of after I've run, and that's kind of what I remind myself of on those runs that I'm not loving it. And then my last tip is to find a workout buddy. If you have a dog, that's how I started running. I had this wild English pointer who needed so much exercise, so that's what I did. I had to run him because that's just what he needed. He was my first running buddy. Some of my best friends have been friends that I've run with. You talk about everything. When you're training for a long race and you're out there running, you just happen to talk about everything. So if you can find a running buddy, that will make it even better. So I encourage you to start a running habit. It is, like I said, one of the most important things in my life, and I think it makes me better at everything I do. So if you're interested, get out there and try. There's so many resources available. So find someone you look up to in that space. Find a group that you can join, a Facebook group, a local group, anything, and get out there and do it. I promise it will change your life. Please follow along for more health and wellness tips. You can also head to my website where I have a write-up of this, and I have other running tips and other health tips. Have a great day.